What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time, we investigated the crime scene, and Francisca and I are having a battle of the minds. She's trying to say that it was, she's taking it at face value, saying one killed the other, the end. And we're trying to prove otherwise. Let's see. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. And the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in this scene. The contradiction here in this crime scene is, right, last time I picked evidence bag's location because that seemed to stand out to me. But that was wrong, so I need to find something else. It's either the order of events or the order the bodies fell. Oh my god, now that I think about it just for a second, now that I'm taking 5 seconds to think about it, the order the bodies fell makes no sense, because... Wait. Yeah, because, Faraday died first. That's what it is. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think that through for a second. Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then, the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and Mr. Rell died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which their bodies are piled. No! Yes. Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rell's. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have died before Mr. Faraday. Impossible! Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene, that we must... Oh. No! Not so fast, Miles Edgeworth! What now? I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. Ooh. And that it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent. She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Boop, boop, boop. What happened? Part 2. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. Ah, wait. Did she say they were right next to each other? Because if that's the case, we could present the crime scene because there weren't burn marks in the bullet wound, which means they're at a distance. I just know that Francisca's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. Well, yeah. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. Hold it! About that. Pressing someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad your trick only works on fools. That wasn't my intent. I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rell. Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could shut up for a minute? Francisca, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours. Oh, I'll hold on to it, all right, as I whip you. Well, now that you've quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue if you don't mind. Is she gonna do that every time I press? The two bodies fell into a pile. Hold it. The two fell on top of each other? Don't you find that to be just a bit strange? Not at all. I could see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart. Miles Edgeworth, once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. Hold it. What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rell while holding both the knife and revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rell grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That's not true. That is how Mr. Rell wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. Ooh, naughty. At close range, that is more than possible. Yes, at close range. Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got. Oh, I will. I'll show it to you. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony. I don't see any point to that, but as you please. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Not even gonna have to. Yep. Wait, no. The crime scene notes? Or the gun? The crime scene notes. Right. Right? Let's see here. Yep, there it is. Present.
Objection!
So you believe they killed each other at close range? Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes. The firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rell and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rell moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation. What a completely foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool! If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Woo! The person that attacked first with murderous intent? That would be neither man. A third party! Here in this room. Contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. There was a third person here. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit. Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct? Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime? Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup, made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it, and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is the piece of evidence that proves there's a third person involved? Is it the gun? The gun because the handgun was in the wrong hand? Is that it? Is it? Let's see. Found in Faraday's hand. Oh, I don't know, actually. The fountain pen. Plastic bag. Is it the plastic bag? I'll try the plastic bag. I was going for the gun, though. The fact that the gun's in the wrong hand.
Take that!
Oh, lucky. The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. I love that sound I make, because it fits. Why did I say it like that? That's the sound I hear when he does that. Okay, that's what I meant to say. I don't know what I was talking about before. I hate that sound. Do you not see the possibility in this? Like, if someone went to me, I think I'd slap them. Disregarding the gun for the moment. There's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. Ah, yes. Victory is mine. Looks like we still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes. That's all he has to say. Who said that? Oh, the lab. Oh, the judge. Wait. What the heck's up with you, pal? Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Oh no! What? What's the meaning of this? Ha! Looks like you're not mad enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare. That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. What? See, Mr. Bad? So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir. It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is that detective. Which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Was that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now, spit out the truth or so help me. I haven't lied to anyone, sir, honest. I really was there. Yeah, okay, he did say that. I was in the hallway the whole time. Hold it. Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? A motive for the murders? Why did you do it, Gumshoe? Stay to the hallway, that's the only one that makes sense. Detective Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in that hallway at any time, correct? Huh? Oh, of course not, pal. You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me? Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence. I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point. Miles Edgeworth, how can you be losing a battle of wits with this detective? You're a disgrace. Maybe I should ask about something else. What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Wait, that wasn't it? Why he was in the hall, I guess. But he'll just say he was. Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time? Look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay? But there is testimony against you that... Miles Edgeworth! I'm really sick of her calling me by my full name. Why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question? The only logical reason as to why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool. Maybe I should ask about something else. Wowie, okay. Motive for the murders, the last one. I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact? You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm telling you, I am not lying! The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. She's gonna laugh. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. She's gonna laugh. I knew it! You're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Gumshoe's motive. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Already, Gumshoe? Oh, buddy. You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I can never hold a grudge. Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sir. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Misuse perfect explanation. May not be so perfect at all. Why? Why not? I don't know why. It was about a week ago. A week ago? Then, you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances? Whew, no way. I only met him in person today. You know what? I'm starting to think you is looking real suspicious. You is looking real suspicious. Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've seen him around before. Oh, you got the hots for Gumshoe? I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday. Mr. Faraday was upset? Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making now, right? I'm completely innocent, I tell you. The poor man. It was quite the scene with the detective. Bumpa, bum, bumpa. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you? Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face. But you do! Huh? What have I got stuck on my face? Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows. Huh? I don't know why I'm making her sound like that. Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun. Miss Hugh, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge. To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too? I suppose I did. It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father could even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's pay. Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Oh, I missed it. You call your explanation perfect? Is it not to your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh? Is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Always raise an objection. Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me. Not motive. She just said that. How Faraday was killed? Or Faraday and Gumshoe's relation? I might go with the relation. Actually, allow me to ask the detective directly. What was your relation to Mr. Faraday? Mr. Faraday was in charge of training rookie detectives to testify in trials. I met him on the very first day I entered the criminal affairs department, pal. I had no idea Mr. Faraday was so involved. Faraday. He may look like an easygoing guy, but he's actually a bit of a nut for strict discipline and manners. Guys like Gumshoe tended to rub him the wrong way. There, now you know how Detective and Mr. Faraday were related. Happy now? No, wait! You said you only had one thing to ask, right? Oh, no. Oh, you're right, Edgeworth. Poor baby. Tell you what, I'll let you have another go. How's that? Alright, if you can clear this one thing up for me. And with it being over 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!